And we should be live. Not that anyone will be here yet. But in terms of, if you're watching this back, hello. Welcome along to what is day 2 of Blitz Pit 2, as it is. Gdaynick's sort of one weekend super mega competition, which seems like it's good fun. I missed all of yesterday's because I wasn't able to stream some of the games, but T-Self did, and he's here.
Hello, everyone.
So me and T-Self, we're going to go over a couple of games. The first one that we've got is in the losers bracket, and then the second one we've got is also in the losers bracket, which will involve whoever loses this match.
Wins this.
Or wins this match, or loses. I know. I think it's whoever wins the other match is the one we're doing.
Wins the other match, yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, I'll just do what I'm told. So we can, for now, focus on Luminous against Dionysian. Humans versus Necro, and they're both 1360 team value teams. Can have a quick run over the rule set for those of you who might be new to whatever the hell this is, because normally if it's me it's Rebel, and this ain't Rebel. So Blitz Pit 2 is a best of 1 double elimination tournament, the bracket for which can be seen here. Look at that. Let's make that bigger for now. So if you lose a game, you go into the losers bracket. Makes sense. If you lose again in the losers bracket, then you're out. So it's 16 coaches that you can see here, if you like, in this top left section. These are the 16 that are in there. As long as you keep winning, you stay in this top section. So it's Random Guy, Elyod, Crucifer, and KFoged who are in that top section. And then various people have been, all the rest of them really, have been into the losers bracket at some stage. Most are out now. We've only got 8 coaches left, and the other game is Jimmy Fantastic against kolianxxxxx, and I'm only going to say 1x on the end of kolianxxxx before I have a brain aneurysm. And then we'll be covering Dionysian against Lumi, which I'm quite excited about because I've watched a lot of Lumi. A very good coach is Lumi. Really good to watch him stream as well.
Some crazy games with this human team as well in the past couple days. Yesterday, I caught his third one live, but I was talking to him last night, and he also said that his first 2 were also equally as crazy.
Well, he lost the first one 2-1 to Elyod, and then came at the losers bracket, won 2-1 against whatever. I can't read that; that's too small.
The Baron Fu.
Le Baron Fu, yes, of course. And then won against Regol as well. So he's beaten Chaos, he's beaten Dark Elves, he's lost to Chaos. So now he's got Necro, which doesn't really give us anything to work on at all. But here's his team. In terms of team building, it's fairly straightforward, really. You can't take any inducements or stadium enhancements. Teams are built to 1100 team value and no higher than 1200 team value worth of players and staff. That's rerolls, Apo, fan factor, and so on. And then you can add skills to your team, to total up the team value, which is given to the tier which your race is in. There's Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. For the purposes of what we're interested in, both humans and necromantic are Tier 2, which means running at 1360 TV. So they're between 1100 and 1200 in basics, and then you can add up to 1360 in skills. And that looks a little bit like this. You're allowed a maximum of 2 level skills per player. You're allowed a maximum of 1 double skill on any one
pop
player.
Down the bracket.
Oh, very good point. Very good point. Yeah. I'm chatting nonsense here. So, then you've got a maximum of 2 doubles on the team, and you can't put 2 doubles on the same player, is the easiest way of putting that. And no stats. None of them shiny stat ups. So what do you make of the build?
I liked it. It's the stand firm guys were surprisingly good. 4 guards is a good number, considering that you only get 2 doubles. Lineman taking one of those doubles for guard. And the block ogre makes him not useless.
Yeah, I mean, here's a secret about stand firm. It's a good skill.
Yeah.
Other than that, what's it? 12 players on the team. Seems to be named after Japanese brands, is what I'm getting from this. Mitsubishi, Sony, Konami, and so on. So, yeah, that's a pretty good look. Got a couple of Mighty Blow. He's got 4 guard, which is always useful, especially when he's going up against a Necro team here. They'll have those flesh golems that you'll need to deal with. Guess what? They've also got stand firm. It's a good skill.
The 2 tackle are probably a bit much the way the tournament ended up going, with not too many dodge teams, but they will be helpful against the ghouls in this matchup.
Yeah, I guess when you're building the team, you don't know what everyone else is building, right? So
yeah, you had no idea, and there's a lot more chaos than everyone expected.
Yeah, I mean, one of the winners bracket matches is Chaos versus Nurgle, right? So that's a thing. Anyway, we'll have a look at the other team. I think we're due to start about 2 minutes ago, so we'll stop rambling. Surprise, surprise, 2 Mighty Blow block werewolves. 1 guard flesh golem with block, 1 block flesh golem without guard. I could have said that better. 2 guard whites, and a block sure hands ghoul. 12 players on the team.
Yeah, it's a good build.
It is, yeah.
Pretty much what you expect out of Necro.
Yeah, he's done away with the whole let's have an Agi style wolf in favour of let's kill some things. The team's called Clawathon. We know exactly what he's aiming for here, so I don't know if any of the games are... It's 1 minute turns, by the way, if you are completely brand new to this. So it'll be rapid and fast, and there's quite a lot of pressure when it comes to 1 minute turn games, because you normally get a chance to just look and say, right, bang, here we go. I'll take a minute, I'll just have a look over what I need to do, and this, you don't get that. You actually need to use those 15 seconds of, do I push here, here, or here, to actually be saying, what am I doing with the rest of my turn?
Oh my, what have we started with?
Yeah, game is live, we're just loading in now.
Looks like we have a pitch invasion.
Run this back just a little bit, so we can get the full shebang, if you like. So we'll just have to wait for the game to launch through the coin flip, which it's doing now. Yeah, Blitz Pit is gdaynick's tournament. It's the second running of it, and I guess it's a sort of NAF-esque rule set, and by NAF I mean NAF and not rubbish. You know, English slang there. So it's 1 minute turns. It should be fairly fast, fairly furious, and we're scheduled to cover a couple of games here. There's a double elimination knockout bracket, and it was indeed a pitch invasion. That has gone in Dionysian is how I'm going to say that. That's anyway, it's gone in his favour.
Yeah, sitting with the +1 frame over there from the kickoff roll.
So he got knocked down on the first zombie, push only against the second one. And I mean, this is largely, well, it's what you would expect a claw game to be. If the claw starts removing humans all the time, the Necro are probably going to win. Only 3 seconds to go in this first turn already. We still need to make a block with the Ogre, which we'll do now, only a 2 dice, and we get the knockdown on Gustav the Troublemaker. That's a stun. So, fairly simple first turn. We're just going to take a Claw Mighty Blow hit on one of the rookie linemen and do absolutely nothing to him.
I feel like he's just going to blitz the easiest target each turn and try and cause some damage. Getting a bit stuck in with his guard here.
Yeah, willing to take... I'm not 100% how much I like putting the white up against the Ogre. That is a Mighty Blow hit that's quite safe to take.
Does let his zombie get one hit off on the guard lineman.
It does. And that's exactly what he's looking for. He's rewarded with a KO.
Yeah, nice reward there for facing up.
So mighty blow hit from the floor onto the zombie. Both down is good. Gets an armor break. Finds a stun. We shouldn't have too much in the way of downtime here, should we? We get an armor break.
Yeah, 1 minute turns does not give you time. Let's see if I can get you a link.
Yeah, this is the thing. I'd love to be able to describe the tournament, but I've got to go. That's a bonehead. It's a pretty bad bonehead as well. Really exposes that mighty blow.
Here we are.
Blitzer to a hit. Yeah, that's it. It's a double elimination, 1 minute turn, invitational tournament. 16 coaches are here. There's a bit of Rebel representation. There's a bit of CCL representation. We're into the second day. So, the last 8 is the best way of putting it.
Yep, and the top 4 will be winning some cash prizes.
Indeed, yeah, I think $80 to the winner. Mighty Blow is down. And the Ogre is down as well. I think you push that back here. You don't want that Ogre on the front line. So I'd be pushing that backwards, yeah, rather than putting him here where he can just stand up and be a guard. Strength 5 presence, well, you're not going to do that if he's stunned.
That bonehead was quite detrimental. Didn't get to block down the white that was handed to him.
So the claw did nothing, but everything else has been absolutely lethal so far. And he's got a chance for a 3-dice hit against this catcher as well, to really press home. This is already looking pretty grim for the humans. This wolf is going to trap itself onto the catcher, so it'll be interesting to see whether he's willing to 3+ dodge this out. If he was to roll a couple of pushes, of course, he's going to land the wolf in harm's way. But he's set up in such a way that he's going to take this 3-die block.
Yep, 3 into 2, not worst.
Well, there we go. Good job, we make it a 3-dice. What's the rule? Always make it a 3. What's the power this time? Might take the bow down here to allow him to dodge out if he wants to.
Yeah, Pow doesn't walk him. I mean, the boat down doesn't walk him onto the lineman, which is nice.
Yeah. 2 removals already for Dionysian. He takes a 3+ dodge, and that's a pretty perfect turn.
Lumi's definitely going to be feeling the pressure of being down 2 men on the pitch.
He's down 2 men. He's got an Ogre that's stunned. He's got a Mighty Blow player down and not really doing a lot here. And yeah, he's this may turn into one of those I need to not concede drives as opposed to I need to score drives. He's going to try.
One of the nice things about catchers is that they're always so fast. So maybe he could like give up one catcher as sort of a I'm going to throw him downfield, and then if it doesn't go down to a wolf or something, he always has the option to just throw it up there.
This little skirmish on the left flank hasn't done a lot for him. A knockdown there, and he might have been able to throw a couple of 3+ to try and force something on that side, but there's just so many. The wolves are quick and they can cover that ground.
Yeah, that's the real hardest part about playing against Necros. You can never get away from the wolves. Even here, he has to be a little careful with the ball because that wolf on the right-hand side is actually still within range of the ball. He doesn't move this catcher or someone else to cover the back of it.
Makes the dodge with the lineman, tries to dodge with the Mighty Blow tackle as well. So we are safe for now, but we've lost ground. Probably won't re-roll this. And indeed, doesn't. So where can you see the other games here? Well, Jimmy Fantastic's covering one. Lumi's covering his own game from his own
They're probably
perspective.
showing his own games, their own games, and then I think, let's see, Vulpes, Garyon, Eziel, or Squirrel Dude. Those are where the channels are on.
Indeed, yeah.
Some of those guys are the other commentary teams that I can see right now. But if you just load up the Blood Bowl 2 Twitch page, you should probably be able to find half of them.
That's probably the simplest way to do things.
I don't think there's going to be too much Blood Bowl being shown at this time of day.
Well, it's the middle of a Sunday afternoon over here in Europe, so prime time.
True.
For Lumi, it's 6 a.m.
Yeah, I don't know how he's doing it.
I believe he's based in California, isn't he?
Somewhere on the west coast, yep.
Oh, goes for the mighty blow here. Gets the knockdown. Konami.
And there's another KO.
The KOs are really rolling in now. And
At least they're only KOs.
I was going to say,
a chance to come back.
They're not Kaz, but there's a 3-assist foul on this Ogre you could play as well. Maybe even
4?
More than that. He'd go for the 4. Yeah, he's going to base up.
Definitely looks like he's aiming for a foul with that basing.
We've got such an advantage, and zombies are kind of spare pieces, right? He's got a ghoul on the bench. Here comes a big old foul on the Ogre. And Lumi is praying for a send-off here. Doesn't get it. Does he have anything at all to work with? At best, you're going to have to get quite leery to try and find some space down the right flank. If you can, maybe come all the way around to blitz that wolf. I just don't know if he's got the numbers to protect the ball.
No, he's really... Because he's only got, like, 2 more players that are free. And then I guess the catcher is sort of free because it has dodge built in.
Well, I mean, whoever 1 in 9 a dodge. So favouring just protecting things first off. Sensible play. There comes the dodge from the catcher, and he's going to go forward to just be a desperate damn scoring threat here.
Yeah, he's in scoring range right now, so that's... It has to be at least considered by Dio.
The idea is to draw the blitz away from the ball. So if you want to set up a 3 dice with that wolf, hope for 3+ dodge here fails it. We'll probably see a reroll now. And sends forward what will be a second scoring threat in that blitzer. So we're looking for magic human plays.
Yeah, we're looking for don't come at me. You gotta deal with the ball threats.
This one on the left flank I think is fairly easy to do. Tie him up with a zombie, maybe a white as well.
Yeah, I think you're at this point you can definitely commit 2 players to each of the threats because I mean, there's just not that many humans left on the pitch. And he's probably going to just 3-die this catcher. Or does he still send his blitz down at the ball and just give up the chance of a miracle play?
It's base at this point, isn't it?
Looks like he's going after the Mighty Blow tackle.
I think he's going to go for the catcher. I think he's just covering off in such a way here. You see, the Flesh Golem, he needs 2 assists there to make that a 2 dice.
Well, I think it is smart to go for the catcher, because if he didn't go for the catcher, there's always the chance that Lumi just throws it up there and scores.
Lumi's looking for a desperation play here. A, to try and score so the drive doesn't collapse. B, try and get some of these KOs back. However... That's not a KO. That's a Kaz. Going to see the Apo.
Yep, keeps him around. Doesn't lose the player, but he'll have to wait till next half to get him back.
It's just been an absolute massacre so far. And the only thing you might have going for him is if he wants to play this for 0-0, he can probably come backwards here. The werewolves are deep to the extent that it would take him 2 turns to catch him. You're not going to do much.
Still would need to make a lot of 3+s to save this.
I mean, none of it's great. And we are going over this way.
Back towards the ogre seems like a good idea.
Oh, that's a really, really, really bad time to bonehead.
Yeah, this ogre has basically
even worse,
done nothing
it was a blitz. So it's the blitz and the lack of guard. I mean, that's just a disaster. 1 dice knockdown there. Helpful.
Gonna need to make a couple dodges and probably another 1 dice.
The armor break also helpful. He needs to get that flesh golem on the floor. I would strongly suggest that the world in which Lumi scores in this drive is quickly disappearing. He's going to dodge out to try and protect the back of the cage. He's got to try a 1 dice here. And he needs a knockdown, and he doesn't get it. So stand firm will keep that flesh golem. The only thing he's got saving him, well, hang on, the 4+ and 3+ have worked up the field.
So the scoring threat gets out, and rightfully he's going to just run it over to the side where zombies can't base him, forcing some faster players to stay back there.
The white is just going to chase him around. So the stand firm on this human blitzer will actually save the flesh golem from progressing onto the ball. At the very least.
It will still open up a path to hit the ball this turn if he knocks down the stand firm.
It will, and he'll identify that. Oh no, goes instead for the mighty blow.
That is a nice non-knockdown. I think this means that Dio's going to use his blitz again on the scoring threat.
For the Necro at this point, 0-0's fine. Combined with the fact that if you can get the humans to not score in the first half, they only get 1 attempt at these 3 KOs that they're trying to make. So you're just continuing to win. Here comes that blitz on the scoring threat. Finds a POW on Handur.
No break, which means technically he can still score.
Yeah, the miracle is on.
And it would only be on 3+, 2+2+ to get to the end zone at this point, unless he covers it with the other wolf.
Yeah, both wolves going back.
But this does mean that the likelihood of it being a steal and score for Dio is a lot lower because he's committing so many of his fast players backwards.
Well, it's not just the fast, it's the Agi 3. He's only got the 1 Agi 3 player up the field now in the white.
Yeah. Ogre finally deciding that he wants to play.
Ball carrier blitz finds the knockdown. Where are we going?
You see like a mad push up the left flank here? He wants to roll all the dice, it might work, but I'm not sure he has the players.
I don't know if it's a case of wanting to roll all the dice, but feeling required to roll all the dice at this point.
I think he really wanted POW or stumbles instead of the both down to knock down so that he had his movement. Now he kind of has to settle for not going as far.
Only got 3 seconds left. Got to get a move on here. Now this is going to get dicey because that ball is not protected at all. And that's also not particularly protected. And that's only slightly better. And I tell you what, they're nailing this dodging game, the humans, you have to say. So we don't quite have a scoring threat from that lineman. He's one short. Steak Mittens, hello. And yes, this is early for T-Self. This is Blitz Pit. It's a one-weekend tournament, if you like, being run by Gdaynick. Invitational tournament. And it's the second day. This is the, well, I was going to say the quarterfinal. It's a double elimination tournament, so it's the last 8. But we're looking at the top of the losers bracket game here.
Yeah, so the way it works out is if one of these two teams wanted to win the whole thing, they would have to win 5 games in a row today.
If you lose twice, you're out. Werewolf Blitz. 1 in 9 is fine when you've got block. At some point, Lumi will just be trying the miracle thrown to the end zone, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets to the point where Dio still doesn't have any of his players able to score, you might as well throw something. I feel like this white wants to just... Nope, he's going to stay at the middle.
He's playing for the 0-0 as opposed for the steal and score.
I mean, I would have maybe just like had one guy potentially able to score and then said, okay, well now you can't try anything really stupid because if you do, I might still score.
Necro haven't even needed a reroll up to this point, but to be fair, the humans have been rolling a lot of 3+ dodges and haven't needed one either.
Yeah, just that one reroll dodge from the blitzer that went up to be a scoring threat.
Well, the ogre's up. For now.
Yeah, his players are just so bogged down on this flank here. There's not really anywhere for them to go.
All the Necro have done for the entire half, they got a couple of early removals and have then just based everything. And it's worked out, to be fair. Lumi's going backwards.
Just going backwards. Makes sense. Can't protect it up there.
Ooh, and he's going for the red dice against the werewolf. That was ballsy. The push might have freed him for a better block. He's going to try the 4+3+ anyway. And fails the 3+ into a stun. So that's a scoring threat gone.
Yeah, no longer can score. Now the safe block for Dio here is with the white on that lineman, but if you make that safe block, I think only one wolf can become a scoring threat.
Got a surf on if he wants it. He's going to take it.
Yeah, definitely going just for removal rather than trying to score this. And it kind of makes sense. I mean, if you do score it, yes, you score, but you're also giving the humans 2 rolls at the KOs. Oh no, because
no,
he's
got to turn 8,
yeah.
Into the crowd. Oh, and an injury to the lineman.
So now Lumi requires all 3 KOs to get back in order to have 11 men on the pitch.
And the Necro have guaranteed it. There's been no damage at all their way.
You can actually surf... no, that guy's got stand firm as well. I was wondering, can he get the wolf down far enough to surf the Mighty Blow Blitzer as well?
He's going to come in with the wolf and get this player forward. I think he's likely to try and knock down the ogre and just foul him. Or you could maybe foul that blitzer.
Claw Mighty Blow not doing it this time.
Claw Mighty Blow is about the only thing that hasn't. Although I haven't said that, we do have a couple in the Kaz box.
Ogre down.
Indeed. You can get a 3-assist foul on this if he follows.
Yeah, pick your choice. 3-assist foul on either the stand firm guard or the ogre.
Oh, hang on. Pair of GFIs here. He's going to base the ball. Because the werewolf is a scoring threat at this point. And it's a 2-assist foul on
the stand firm, yeah.
Interesting that he took the GFI. Didn't need to make that GFI. Could have just fouled from
if
here.
You wanted to cut off the angle to get out.
I suppose.
It would have been a 5+, but
it seems fairly cut and dry. Lumi's best play might be a 3+. You can 1-dice the wolf. Oh, no, hang on. He's going to blitz a zombie away. Rolls a push. And he's just going to run for the hills here. Now, he could stand in his own end zone.
In the corner, yep.
And encourage the surf on his own player. Which, of course,
no way to get the ball without surfing it.
Well, then you're relying on the... And deliberately taking a 5+ dodge to try and avoid a Claw Mighty Blow or a surf against that that human Mighty Blow blitzer thing.
I actually don't think that the only way for him to do this is if he blitzes with the werewolf to surf, stays in the end zone, and then somehow the ball lands somewhere where he can pass it.
Oh, he's double skulled it. So, half-time will be 0-0. Core Knight, that's fine. That's not a problem at all, yeah. I'm going to be tired of doing this for the next few hours. So, half-time 0-0.
All depends on these KO rolls, right?
It really, really does.
F.
Ah.
F's in chat for those KO rolls.
Yeah, no, that wasn't the one, was it? So, I mean, difficult to see how the humans win this. There's 3 LOS blocks and a blitz coming in before they get to do anything else. They're down to 8 players. It could be worse than that. They've got a full complement of Necro to go up against. The only minor hope would be if we rolled a blitz here.
Yeah, and Dio doesn't have to score until turn 16, giving the humans only 1 turn to work with the ball, because this numbers is not going to be threatening without some crazy luck.
Oh, here comes the kick. And it is a re-roll for the Necro in overtime format, which I'm sure they will gleefully accept. So they're on 4, the humans on 3. And I don't anticipate the most enthralling second half we've ever seen. But you never know.
If you get through this, turn of line blocks without any removals, I mean, that would be a start.
Yeah, he's not going to stand firm here because he wants to expose the wolf. And he does expose the wolf.
Not only that, but it saves his blitzer from getting blocked again.
And another failed knockdown attempt there. The only thing that Lumi can really do is hope he gets out of this without taking any removals. As we see a knockdown on Psycho.
It's a good spot to put the body of the lineman, because that was a prime spot to walk the ogre up onto.
Zombie Blitz. You don't see that every day. Gets the pow.
Yeah, foul as well. So even if it's just onto a lineman, probably still worth it.
I say, if you get to do this turn without losing any pieces, you've just... The next 3 turns. Oh, and a failed sure hands pickup. The 1 in 9.
That opens up a chance.
And it does open up a chance. And if you can get the ogre into play, which you're going to try and do, that guard will be very useful. And there is there's an opportunity here.
Yeah, I feel like this opportunity probably wants to involve some sort of get players up the left flank and punt it to them.
Yes. I wholeheartedly agree. And you're actually going to inverse the thrower and the catcher here. You're going to go send the catcher after the ball, and you're going to send the thrower down the left flank. Oh, and the 1 in 9 is a bit of a pain.
Yeah, it leaves a body in the way, which means a dodge will have to be made. Luckily, the catcher does have the dodge skill, but it's going to eat some of the movement up.
Basing the wolf, well, he kind of has to. It's a 5+ pickup. You're going to send the thrower down the left flank. Like so. And Lumi knows he has to go all in on this. It's the only chance he's going to get, realistically, in the whole game. So we've got a 3+ dodge here. A 5+ pickup. Likely enough another 3+ dodge.
Yeah.
And you may be chucking into space, yeah. Here we go. And
if it works.
Oh, it's...
Oh, 4. Reroll.
He's not got it.
No,
He's
not got it. There's always going to be a tough ask on the 5+, but there's always a chance.
Well, another failure of some sort from Dio. And the pressure will be
still
on.
Has a scoring threat, because both the catcher and the stand firm guard blitzers can score from here. So if the sure hands were to fail again, it's always the chance.
The Wolves haven't quite come to the party in the second half so far. Oh, and that's a good 1 in 9 to get.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to this pickup roll, I think. But going to want to make it so that the pickup roll isn't as important. He's going to get some of these players free first, and then...
Double skull.
Ooh. Oh, 3 out of 4.
Well, I tell you
That was
what,
spicy.
he still hasn't dealt with the issue here. There's still players in and around that ball. And
That's
there is
an
a knockdown
important
there.
knockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a scoring threat. And a big stun as well.
Sure hands pickup is bad. Oh, and he just scattered.
Good scatter, though. Yeah, very good scatter.
Just about gets away with it on the scatter, doesn't he? But the ghoul is making a mess of this.
Fortunately, we couldn't knock down this white, which means that the ogre's not going to get a 2 dice on the flesh golem.
Takes the 2 dice on the white instead. Mighty blow hit coming in. worth them doing. It was such a good scatter. There's just no real world in which you're getting that ball in and out.
Still half dives for this blitzer everywhere.
He's going for the wolf.
Wait, I'm trying to scatter the ball.
Oh, that doesn't quite work out either. Now it's overtime format as well.
I don't think Lumi has the luxury of worrying about rerolls in overtime.
The only problem is he would have only had one more player if he used the reroll. It would have been difficult to recover that. Well, it's proven to be a bit more interesting than we anticipated.
Yeah, Bullet Bowl always throws you something.
Down goes the thrower. This flesh golem is lethal.
The armor breaks every turn have just been so brutal for Lumi to deal with. Almost always down an extra player each turn.
Knocked down again. He'll go for the ball. Scatter, I think, this time. Yeah, he will. And it's towards the flesh golem. Who drops it quite nicely.
Another good scatter backwards, yeah. He's gonna have to scatter it again if he pushes this catcher, because it's the only spot to push them to.
You don't follow this block, because you don't want the chance that it pops up into the white's hands.
I think if the white caught it there, it wouldn't be the biggest deal. Now this is a bit scary, because if the ghoul were to flub that pickup, Lumi actually has some players who might be able to get around to pick it up. And the chances of a scatter back into like 3 or 4 tackle zones is unlikely.
Oh, that's a reroll used.
That 1 in 9 was a bit spicy. But it will enable this werewolf to come around the back. Protect the ball a bit. He's definitely been throwing a few blocks, I think, that have opened up chances, but the rerolls have been doing their jobs.
That's what they're there for.
Now that the wolf is there, failing this pickup wouldn't be as bad.
The ghoul finally has the ball in hand, and that will be a chance to put the wolf on the ogre, and it's a frenzy trap as well. 2 into a 1. Lumi needs a removal back. He needs something. And I mean, I say that. He's been offered a bit in this half anyway. But he's just not quite got the breaks to take advantage of it. There is a world in which you can make a 5+ dodge to get a 1 dice on the ball. You'd have to bring that guard around the back.
No, he's
I know
already
he can't.
stood
He's
up.
already stood up, that player, yeah. So that's gone. The mighty blow on Lumi's team has done nothing at all.
I don't think he's been able to make blocks with it that often. He's just been down from the start. Hasn't really been able to make their blocks.
He's doing well to still be 0-0 at this stage. Question now is, can he stall for time enough to maybe send this to overtime? Is that the play we're making?
That's probably the only play he can make. I don't think he can...
He's given up a lot of blocks
he had
again.
He had his 5+ miracle to try to win, but now it seems like that's not going to be a thing anymore.
Well, I mean, the 5+ with a reroll is 55%. I don't know if that's in the realms of miracle.
Well, there were a few more dice after that as well, so it was probably all in all like a 10% play, which was a lot more than you would have expected him to have, given the start of the half.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Dio, just as long as he plays this correctly and sensibly, he will be able to knock down enough of the humans to gain the ground he needs.
Not only that, but he'll always be able to have like every human based up and still have people protecting the ball.
Oh no! That's a dead blitzer.
That's a claw and mighty blow being used to do it.
That's another one on the bench as well.
Now, I would say, luckily, this is a resurrection tournament, so the Blitzer will be coming back in the next game, but unfortunately, Lumi's in the loser's bracket, so there won't be a next game if he loses this match.
Another armor break. Both teams are armor value 8. One team brought theirs, one team didn't.
And yeah, this is exactly what Dio needs to do. Just have every single human based, hit them down every turn, and slowly move the rest of the players up towards the end zone. And even as it is right now, I mean, the guard stand firm blitzer can get back and be somewhere near the ball. I mean, but everyone else is just so far away.
How do you stop the wolf from coming across?
Yeah. If you had extra players, you'd be like, okay, well, maybe I can tag some of these players, get the blitzer back and threaten the ball a bit, but there's only 2 or 3 humans to do that with. Effectively having 5 humans this turn with the 2 stuns.
He's making a play to get on the ball here with a couple of GFIs. He is, and he fails that one.
Well, he's making the plays he can.
Well, yeah, that directs the blitz away from the player in the backfield.
Yeah. And he does have a scoring threat in play, the catcher. And okay, this guy's coming back to cut off the other wolf. So he has a scoring threat. There's always a chance when you have a scoring threat. Not as likely a chance when you're humans as opposed to elves, but, you know. Sometimes the dice can roll things that aren't 1s or 2s.
Yeah, I mean, well, a quad skull here from Dio, and it's game on. But how often does that happen? Well,
not often enough, apparently.
I tried to put the commentator's curse on it, but not today.
The funny thing is, yesterday we did see a very impactful quad skull, so...
They tend to be. They often are. Because if it wasn't going to be impactful, you probably wouldn't re-roll the double skull in the first place.
Yeah. The problem here is even if Lumi rolls all the miracle dice, you know, dodges this guy out, gets the 1 dice POW, there's literally no human in any range of recovering that ball.
He needs to hit him so hard that he's pushed back 2 squares to give the ball a chance of going in the crowd.
Very, very smartly not putting his ghoul in the left 2 lanes.
Failed dodge from the werewolf.
Probably going to let that go.
Yeah, it's overtime format. I would not like to see a reroll here at all.
And he doesn't need that wolf. Like, oof.
Well, what do I know?
Say he didn't need the wolf at all, so it's pretty much superfluous.
Well, the coach is confident he's got this one in the bag. I have to say I'm inclined to agree with him.
Yes. The way the pitch is definitely gone. He should be scoring this on
Still
16.
cannot find an armor break.
Now there's always the potential for humans one turning. It's going to be difficult with 2 flesh columns still around, but there's always a chance.
2 dice Blitz coming here, maybe? No? I think he was going for the ball. He's using his last reroll. He is going for the ball. And yeah, he's knocked himself out. Never rains, but it pours. He's finding all of his 6s on his armor dice. Here's Luminous here. And there's not much more that Dio needs to do. Keep the ball safe. He's got a surf option here on the thrower, which would of course be handy. That won't do it.
No, but he gets 2 more Claw Mighty Blow hits on him, so who needs the crowd, right?
Yeah. The more humans you can remove, the lower the odds of the one turn to equalise. And Lumi's all out of rerolls now as well. I don't know whether I might have just saved that reroll for the one turn just in case. It was low odds anyway, so I'm not going to criticise him too much for that.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's going to need a lot of players to come back from KOs anyways for the one turn attempt. But one turns are a lot better when you have a reroll. Maybe he can get one on the kickoff event, but his fame is lower, so it's going to be difficult.
There's a pal on the catcher. There hasn't been an armor break this turn. So,
and there comes the caster's curse.
Yeah, there it is. So it does work. There we go.
Just have to get it warmed up, right? Or not be as demanding of the of the dice. I almost would have been very tempted to just take the both down on that block as the Necro.
He's got an extra zombie on the bench, right? Losing a
Yeah,
zombie
he's got
doesn't
an
matter
extra
to
zombie.
him.
He's got extra zombies, and it eats up 3 full movement squares from that lineman.
The ogre is continuing to play with the zombie to no success at all, and that is exactly what you want a zombie to do. I know this is
an ogre.
well, that's it. I know this is a game that's pretty much gone anyway. But if you can get a 40k piece to tie down, what's an ogre with block and guard, like in the region of 200k? It's just value, value, value. How much is a fresh ogre? 110?
100. Yeah, that sounds about right. 110 or 120, something like that. Looks like some of the other results are coming in. We're gonna have KFoged up against the winner of Jimmy Fantastic and kolianxxxxx next on this channel.
Oh, random guys won as well.
Yep, I'm up in the winner's bracket. Random Guy and Crucifer have made their way straight to the semi-final. So both of those guys are guaranteed to be in the prize spots.
Is Random Boy old enough for a cash prize yet?
I'm not sure.
There goes Toyota. But I know from the World Cup qualifiers last year, he wasn't actually old enough to enter. was a year ago. Oh, a send-off. A removal.
Finally, Lumi gets his first removal of the game.
It cost him another KO to do it. Yeah, just save the cat. You need the catcher, don't you?
Oh, yes. If you have any chance, you need that catcher to stay alive.
It's 130k for a human ogre, so that's not been worth it, considering he's actually 180k.
And I also think you need the ogre alive, just because of the extra strength.
It's 1-0 to Dio. And Lumi's early start really hasn't paid off up to this point.
Of course, we can't say that it's because he was tired, because he hasn't really done that much wrong this game. He's just not had the players to be able to make the plays he needed to.
That's it, isn't it? As he proceeds to fail 4 of the 5 KO rolls.
So that's 7 out of 8 KO failures.
It's quite difficult, isn't it, to sit here and say, right, okay, so this is where he went wrong, because, well, there's nothing. He's not really done anything wrong.
I think we can say exactly where he went wrong. He forgot to bring the good dice. With only 6 humans left on the pitch, it's going to be impossible to one turn. So he has to get a riot.
Yeah, he needs a riot.
Yeah.
And that would be a riot.
Row players downfield and hope they don't get blocked down.
It's the Blood Bowl equivalent of the Hail Mary pass. That's not Hail Mary pass. So I suppose in football terms, it's the Blood Bowl equivalent of sending the goalkeeper up for a corner in the last minute.
Those are always the funniest.
My favourite part is how the goalkeeper instantly becomes the primary threat, despite the fact that he's got no experience in attacking a corner at all. And that is a high kick, which means that this one is done.
I think that's usually because he's the tallest guy there.
It's like, you send the goalkeeper up and everyone just loses their mind. He's literally the least qualified person to score from this. Anyway, 4 armor breaks to 16 very much tells the story of this one, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not even the armor breaks, though. I mean, it was 16 armor breaks, but we had how many KOs and injuries as well? Just out of those 16?
Well, 16 arm breaks into 7 removals, so that's near as damn it a 50-50. But 52 blocks to 21, telling its own story as well, as Dio absolutely dominated that. Lumi not allowed to get into the game at all, both by his opponent and, I got to say, partly by Nuffle as well. But them's the breaks sometimes, right? So I guess what we need to do now is find out which game we're going to be casting. Well, kolianxxxxx has beaten Jimmy 2-0.
Yeah, so I believe we're on KFoged versus kolianxxxxx.
Yes, so I will basically do whichever game gdaynick tells me to do at this point. There's 3 games left to do. What I don't think it makes sense to do is have 2 people cover the same game, if that makes sense. So, you know, if someone else is doing it, then it seems a bit of a waste of time us doing it as well. But I'll just hang fire to find out which game we're going to be doing next in what is the last 6 now. We lose 2 more coaches. Luminous and Jimmy Fantastic are gone. It means the lineup for the last 6, which is kind of a weird thing to say, looks a bit like this. So you can see, still in the winners bracket, having won 3 games in a row now, is Random Guy and Crucifer. Now, I know Crucifer's got a good reputation around these parts, but do not rule out Random Guy at all. The boy is magic at this game. And in the losers, we've got Elyod against Dio, and KFoged Chaos against kolianxxxx's Dwarfs. Well, that doesn't seem like a particularly good matchup for the Dwarfs, does it?
No.
Chaos versus Necro, and you've got Lizards versus Nurgle in the top bracket. The Nurgle who have conceded only 1 touchdown so far. 2-1, 2-0, 2-0 is their record up to this point. So, as I say, I'm just keeping an eye on the Discord, and then we'll find out soon which game I'm going to be doing. And then we will bring that one to you. There'll be a little bit of a downtime here. And then, yeah, we will...
Yeah, Lizards have not conceded a single touchdown. That's impressive.
As I'm saying, Random Boy, he is magic at this game. And underestimate him at your peril. I have KFoged against kolianxxxxx. Right, super. We will do that whenever those guys are ready. So we've got the Chaos and the Dwarfs. I don't imagine kolianxxxxx will be aware of what happens to dwarfs on my channel.
Yeah, dwarves are a bit of a endangered species there.
If you like dead dwarfs, this is the place to be for it. Trust me on that.
Remind me to never ask you to cover my dwarf teams.
When I said, when I'm like, Crucifer's got a good reputation around here, I have a reputation around these parts for dead dwarfs.
And halflings.
And especially, yeah, well, God, the season where I lost 61 halflings in 13 games permanently was quite something.
Haringzord has never been allowed to play halflings since by the Union.
No, I think it was officially classed as genocide, which is kind of a thing. Right, so I guess we'll go have a look at these two teams, shall we? Which I was hoping to be able to do from there, but instead we're going to have to go through the old-fashioned route, Blitz Pit, and we'll just have a look at the teams. So we have got No Luck, Pure Skill, coached by kolianxxxxx. Now this is a tier 1 team, which means they're only at 1300, and they will be playing against KFoged Chaos, which are, interestingly, a tier 3 team, which means that they are sat at 1420 TV. So we'll take a look at the dwarfs first. And they've got a death roller. Spicy. And all the names are in Russian, which means I can't say them.
Bracket again.
Bracket again. You'd think I've never done this before.
You think so?
So what we got? We got a rookie death roller.
A lot of guard.
It's a dwarf team, of course it is. We got one Mighty Blow Troll Slayer. We've gone guard across the board, and we've got a Blodge Runner. All right. Next. 2 rerolls as well, so we've gone light on the rerolls in favour of extra guard.
Death roller.
But of course we've got a guaranteed removal. Now the Chaos matchup isn't bad because they're not likely to be able to score quick on you. If it was something like Wood Elves, then you look at that and say, oh well, the Wood Elves will 2-turn and I lose my Death Roller. Or I leave the Death Roller on the bench and then the Wood Elves 7-turn or something. So the Chaos means you're at least likely, if you're on defense, to get a little bit of value out of that. So that's the Dwarf team. It's not the most exciting thing in the world. This is the Chaos team. Here we go again. Minotaur with Claw Palm is super spicy and tends to mean bad news for dwarfs. However,
very spicy choices.
Yeah, 2 reroll Chaos is brave to say the least. He does have a cheerleader and a coach assistant, but they're not exactly guarantees of rerolls. So to have gone that far on the winners bracket with only 2 reroll Chaos, I am impressed. Officially. So a bit of background. I have heard kolianxxxx's name before, mainly because it's fairly recognisable. High performing Ruble coach. So there we go. We've got Ruble here as opposed to the other one, which I'm not talking about today. Russian Blood Bowl League, and KFoged is #1 NAF Dark Elf coach, which means he's probably all right at Blood Bowl, all things considered.
The question is he all right at not rolling both downs?
Well, he does have block on all the Chaos Warriors, and he does have block on the Sure Hands Beast, which he won't be rolling all that many blocks with. And he does not have block on a Claw Mighty Blow Beast, which is another meme from this channel from many moons ago. So plenty of guard on both sides. So I'm playing in the in Spider's Champions League tournament at the moment as well, which is, I guess, a relatively similar rule set. And what you see a lot of is just Norse or even Chaos Dwarf taking a Yeti or a Minotaur, stick and claw on the thing, or Mighty Blow on the thing. So Norse, for example, will just stick, block, and Mighty Blow on the Yeti. And then it's basically, if the Yeti removes lots of things, they win. And if the Yeti doesn't remove lots of things, they lose. And I feel it's very much the same thing we're going to see here. The Minotaur is the key piece in the game. If it goes mental and removes all the dwarfs, then KFoged will probably win. And if it doesn't, if it has one of those games where it wild animals, or it just rolls pushes, or doesn't get the removals, then he might well lose. That's kind of it. But I'd expect to see some casualties. I don't know if the coaches are taking a 5-minute break or anything.
Game just went live.
Oh, did it really? Well, it's a good job you're checking that stuff.
Just now.
Because I was absolutely just nattering away to myself. So if you're joining from any of the other channels, welcome along. We have KFoged against kolianxxxxx here in what is last chance saloon in this losers bracket.
Winner of this game gets into the money.
Indeed, yeah. We've also got on BZL's channel Dio, who we just saw win against Luminous, and he's taken on Elyod. While this is loading, I'll just get the bracket up very quickly. And then Random Guy is taking on Crucifer on some other channel.
They're taking a break.
Are they taking a break? Do they get a game off?
Yes.
Do they?
They get some time off because the losers bracket has quite a few more games in it before they're going to be needed.
Indeed. So, dwarfs to receive. Chaos Warriors on the line because they're armor value 9 as opposed to armor value 8. And if you are kolianxxxxx, this is all about how many of them beasts can I remove? The rookie beasts to start off with, because just getting rid... He's got no bench, just KFoged. No bench at all for the Chaos, so if we can just dwindle the numbers, we're in a good spot. The Dwarfs do have one Longbeard on the bench. It's a one-weekend tournament, Skips. So the first couple of games were yesterday. And then this is I assume is the 5th fixtures or the 4th fixtures. We've gone time war on the kickoff, but
it's the 5th set of fixtures. Yeah. We had 3 sets yesterday with 8 commentary teams.
And look at that, the Chaos get the reroll because they had the assistant. Number 1, NAF coach Strats. So he's going to blitz with the Death Roller.
Oh yeah, I mean he didn't buy this thing to not blitz with it.
I would like to pay 100 and however much a Death Roller, 160k, something stupid, a Death Roller.
Yeah,
like really expensive. I would like to not use that, please. However, it will be slightly put out of whack if that Minotaur gets anywhere near it, because it only needs a couple of assists for 2 dice, thanks to Horns.
So the risky choice of putting 3 guard Chaos Warriors on the line has paid off with no removals.
Indeed, there's a POW on Gishnagor. And there's one.
And the Death Roller does it.
Hey, it's been a while since I got to cast a game with a Death Roller in it. I'm going to enjoy this. On you go, son.
Also, the smartest thing about using your Death Roller fluff-wise is you always want to turn him around before the end of your turn so that his exhaust is going at the enemy instead of your own guys' faces.
Right, Random Boy, welcome along. Random Boy into the, I guess what you would call the semi-final of the winner's bracket. It's hard to call it a semi-final when you've got 3 matches still to go. But he's getting a game off. And then the final 2 games are later on this evening, I do believe. But the Dwarfs up by 1, and they have the ball, and that's good.
So horns meaning that if he wants to blitz this left-hand side of the line, he can.
Well, the Minotaur did the thing I suggested it might do.
And that was the blitz as well,
Yeah.
which means no blitz.
If it does that, the Chaos are going to lose. That's the beauty of a Death Roller. Doesn't have a... I was about to say it doesn't have a nega trait, but doesn't have one of those wild animal checks that you have to make, or bonehead checks. Because
Nope, it instead has the 0+ check of the refs like, nope, at the end of the drive.
I don't know if I'm okay with that thing being on the field, actually, says the ref. So eventually Armor 9 will break.
Nice curse.
I'm pretty good at this, aren't I?
Yeah, very.
So that's a stun only.
Might be able to, like, trap this wrestle tackle beastman in there as well.
But that is, to all intents and purposes, the one piece that is going to be any threat to the ball. So knocking it over makes sense, and we didn't manage to do that. Now, okay, we've used the rookie. So my next question was going to be: Do you fancy a foul against a Chaos Warrior with like a rookie player?
With the Death Roller being auto sent off, I don't think so. But I mean, this other rookie's still over here. He could do it.
It's a dwarf meat shield, and kolianxxxxx knows what he's doing. You don't need anyone behind the ball.
It is a +4 foul if you wanted it, but it would be a GFI, and you don't really have the players to suffer an expulsion, so...
We need one player back here because it is possible for that beastman to get around the back and hit the thing. Wrestle tackle can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He can't get there without making very scary dodges.
And the real question is, will we see the Minnow Blitz again, given how it failed last turn?
It's the piling on that's the mean choice, isn't it? Because if it was just standard Claw Mighty Blow, you'd probably just go with the Beastman. But it's the high intensity... Here we go.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting that...
It puts a Chaos Warrior on the ball, if he wants. He does not want.
That Chaos Warrior would just get hit by the Troll Slayer, though.
Hey, look, dead dwarfs on this channel. Who'd have seen it coming? Do we Appo that?
Have armor 7 when they're hit with Claw.
He does Appo that. Now, what do you make of that Appo?
It's definitely just I want my numbers Appo.
I guess the thing is, there's not actually that many other pieces that's like, oh, I really need to save this piece. Because you've got Guard Longbeards coming out your ears on this team.
Yeah.
So, it's purely just about numbers. So, just the first badly hurt gets Appo.
You never know when, like, all the rest of the Kaz might just be dead, so you have to just take your 100% numbers when you can.
So, we've still got lots of 2 dice against the Chaos Warriors. And he's going to be able to open up the right flank fairly well here, I think. But if he doesn't want to do that, he might Troll Slayer the Minotaur.
He's going to walk guard up onto the Minnow also, so he might just be able to hit it normally without even using his Blitz.
Yeah.
He will go for the Troll Slayer, though.
What's the Mighty Blow here to get the knockdown? It's only armor 8. Now that I might foul.
Certainly be a bit more of a...
Oh, that's a KO. That is big, big news.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess this means...
I was just about to ask if you Appo that.
Really Appo that. He did. Yeah, I think that the TV was really the reason for the no blitzers.
Wow, okay, Death Roller foul on the Mino. He wants rid of this thing. The Appo is gone. That is a dirty player piece.
That animation is pretty nice too.
I see we've turned this into a fight.
So them's fighting words.
That was a statement.
I mean, if you're going to be sent off anyways on one player, you might as well risk the send-off with that same player.
Yes. You'd like more out of him.
And you're also getting that extra +1 on the roll, so...
But I would absolutely say that from kolianxxxxx's point of view, my Death Roller is going to go anyway, and if I can trade it for that Minotaur... Alright, that's a win.
Good trade.
Now we have more Claw Mighty Blow, but it doesn't have block, and it didn't even find a knockdown anyway.
Yeah, and because it doesn't have block, you can never greed reroll those.
Now, the dwarfs suddenly find themselves a little outstrengthed in key areas. There's another block coming in.
Has finally pushed those Chaos Warriors off of the massive guard. They've been slowly moving off of where all the extra help was.
It was unfortunate to only roll a couple of pushes there, actually, because he really could have taken control of this. Now, we know what he wants to do.
He wants to foul the minnow again, right?
Yeah.
He also wants to get a blitz in onto this nice exposed killer,
Oh.
but just finds some pushes.
Come back for the assist on the foul, son. This is the game we're playing. Kolianxxxxx has fully accepted that the Minotaur needs to go.
He's already seen it tear one of his dwarves apart.
Now we can... Yeah, this is just maximum assist. All assist, all party, 3 assist and dirty player. On an armor 8 piece with the Apo gone. Do we hit anything else before that? We can put... No, we're not going to do that. We're just going to go for the foul.
Unfortunately, because this is a tournament where you want to be efficient, you can't give guard to the Death Roller, which is a very good spot to have guard.
It's a stun again.
Well, I mean, it means that the minnow's not blitzing something this turn. And it kind of sort of dares KFoged to hit this Death Roller, but he's really not going to be able to get the strength nearby.
Am I being stupid here? Why is that not a KO?
Thick Skull.
Ah, it's got Thick Skull. Of course it does. There you go.
Yeah, minnows have Thick Skull.
Well, as we know,
useful.
it is the best skill in the game. Ish.
And as we also know, it doesn't save dwarfs from death.
Now. 4, 5, 6. He could have gone for a 1 dice on the Death Roller. But instead is playing the more sensible route.
Yep, getting those claw hits in where he can.
The thing
Can't
is,
blitz with
actually,
the minnow,
that
blitz with the other guy.
if we commit to the foul again, this part of me feels like as long as the Minotaur can just remain stunned, we're losing enough momentum here that that this dwarf drive might fall to bits. He's only going to have 3 turns after this. He has injured that one.
Ooh, that's a good removal. Every single player on the Chaos team gone is big.
The Apo's gone, isn't it? So both Apos are gone at this point.
Potentially looking at 9 or 8 men at the end of this turn. I mean, they have a Death Roller, Skips. How can you not be on their side? No, we're just commentating it from the point of view of the offense right now.
There's the foul. And it's an injury. That's it. There it is. Dirty player got the job done this time.
No send-off. No send off.
And that is exactly the trade we were looking for, and that really, really puts KFoged on the back foot now. And let's face it, that is what the Death Roller was there for.
Oh, I think they can still score this pretty easily, Big Chuck. Runners are decently fast enough, and there's still 3 more turns to push forwards.
Having badly hurt...
He has traded a lot of position, though.
Well, he has, but having Appoed the badly hurt, KFoged is at a point now where he needs to dwindle the numbers on the dwarf side as best he can. Here comes the chain push play. That's not quite enough, is it?
No.
So KFoged has, at maximum, 9 players for his own drive. Now, if that's against a full complement of 11 dwarves full of guards, which it's not.
Not.
Well, it is, because they had one on the bench.
No, but the bench is used up by the Death Roller.
Ah, of course, yeah, so it's 10. It's 9 versus 10 max now.
Yeah, that was a big double 6 into 6-5 there.
I'll be honest, I promised you all dead dwarfs, and we will deliver. Double skull. And again, 3 out of 4 on the skulls, but the knockdown's good enough.
Yeah, so that Beastman wisely coming over to fill in this gap that was being left behind where the Death Roller is.
KFoged is likely enough here to be able to stall this out. Now, there's a potential play where he could hit the other Claw Mighty Blow. But there's now 3 dwarfs stuck on this left-hand side, and the ball's probably going to have to move to the right-hand side. And the Wrestle Tackle is primed to stop any breakthrough. Both of those skills literally cancelling both of the skills that the Dwarf Runner has.
I almost wonder, do the dwarves just want to try and cause some damage here and give the Chaos only 1 KO roll?
Possibly. Very possibly.
Depends whether he gets any KOs on these blocks.
Potential Frenzy Trap here. Doesn't matter when you roll that. And I tell you what, if he'd removed that Chaos Warrior, he was laughing. Does give up a Claw Mighty Blow here. I wonder if he'll take... It's a bit early on in the turn to be taking a 4+ dodge out of that. The ball has to go over here now if he wants to score.
Yeah, and he's going to be pushing hard on this side.
Now, do you roll with the Death Roller first? You do, you find the power. So we're going to be going for what is basically a 3-dwarf offense on this side. He needs a GFI to properly make this safe.
Yep, has his reroll, so...
Yep, so it's not quite close. It's not quite central, is it, the Wrestle Tackle piece, which is stopping us there. That's a failed dodge. He might reroll that with 2 turns and... 3 turns and 2 rerolls to go.
Yeah, I mean, at best, he was double GFIing to get on base with the Claw Mighty Blow Beastman. But,
yeah, basing the dwarfs like this is fine. This is absolutely what you want to be doing. Just stopping them getting up in support of the runner. Who is in range to score, it has to be said, with 2 GFIs. So we do need to cover off that possibility that he goes to the turn 7 score.
Wrestle Tackle can get in front with just 1. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. That makes life a little trickier, but not perfect by any stretch. Ooh, now here's some cubes. That gives us the Claw Mighty Blow on the Troll Slayer, and this could hurt. No, it didn't. So, what's he got? He's got 1 dice against the Wrestle
Yeah, I
Tackle.
think he just blitzes the 1 dice and then runs through. You have your reroll?
I don't think you blitz with the ball carrier. I think you just hit him, don't you? With the... Okay, that works. That frees up the guard to come and
Frees
make
up the guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 dice into 2 dice. Or 2 dice into 1 dice.
I'm
Though
feeling
if
like
you use the guard,
No, I think
then
you
the
might
blitz
blitz,
is
yeah.
better.
Blitz with the guard play. Oh, it's a double skull. That's a really, really bad time to roll.
Well, that makes it much worse now.
Long
Because that
beard.
block was just not required at all.
Yeah, you didn't need that for anything.
That's
so
a bit of a greedy...
What I was thinking prior to that was I blitz with, rather than use the ball carrier, where if it goes wrong, it's a turnover and I've dropped the ball. You take a 1 dice here, like so, and you definitely don't skull it. He didn't. But of course...
That gets rid of tackle.
It
So
does,
now his dodge is going to work.
but his reroll's gone.
Yeah, I would love to have the reroll for these GFIs. Because I think he has to make it this turn.
KFoged has 2 rerolls. He's got a wrestle tackle piece with horns.
Like, if you don't go for this, then the ball's just going to get sacked.
You just lose the ball anyway, right? Chances are.
Gonna feel really bad if he rolls a 1 on one of these GFIs, though. Just having given up that reroll for no reason.
Dodge works, and 2 GFIs to get there. Is he going to take them? Surely he is.
Yeah, he's gonna give us the
He's
old...
not. Oh, he wanted to cover it with the death roller, and as it turned out, he rolled a 1.
Well, I mean, he's still holding the ball, so I guess that's the thing.
Results-based analysis is bad, we know that. But as it turned out, he rolled a 1. And the second roll was also a 1 on the armor. And that is a 1 in 9.
Yep. Which means he's now going to be forced to dodge with the wrestle tackle.
Yeah, you don't take the reroll there.
Can at least base up the ball first to force some dice from the dwarves with no commitment to dice yourself.
Possibly, but that might have been the ball recovery, that Claw Mighty Blow piece, if you want to pick it up.
I don't know if picking it up is that important, given that you don't have a scoring threat.
Well, there's the failed dodge. Another failure here, and kolianxxxxx will get away with this.
Oh, gets the 6. And the knockdown. Dwarf not broken, so... And the ball went to the sideline, which means that the Mighty Blow is going to have a harder time. No, you can still reach it.
I don't even think I'd try the pickup. I think I would literally just stand that thing next to it.
Park him on it, yeah.
Well, I was wrong. Alright, bomb into that Chaos Warrior. Double dodge free. Couple of GFIs. You can steal a score here. I somehow feel like the #1 ranked NAF coach might disagree with my idea.
Well, I think I don't hate just like throwing the Chaos Warrior forwards right now and then doing the pass next turn.
Just try it. What's the worst that could happen?
Safer, yeah.
Well, he's run out of time, is what the worst that could happen.
1 minute doesn't really leave time for those extra last second things, always.
So we've taken a block here, and... Well, that could prove useful for the second half, because if KFoged achieves his objective of stopping the score, he's only going to get 1 KO roll here.
Yeah,
So-
and we've got another hit on a Chaos Warrior, followed by probably a foul with the Death Roller.
Yeah, as we've seen, well, there's a 1 dice POW, which will free up the 1 dice on the ball, will it not?
Which will then free up a chance to score,
Yeah.
if the scatter is nice.
And I'm going to be honest, you kind of want to foul with the Death Roller before he goes. But I would foul the other Chaos Warrior. Because
Plus
you don't
2
need a
foul
GFI
on
for
this
that one.
block guard. Yeah.
There's a knockdown. But it's a knockout as well.
That's good. That's very good for the dwarves.
The scatter means you can't score.
Yeah, no way to score
So
this.
now you take the foul. Because your
Plus
Death Roller's
3
about to
foul,
go.
you dirty player.
Oh no, I don't like fouling that one. Foul the other one. There we go.
There we just realized it would have been a GFI.
Yeah, it's a GFI for that one. And it's the same piece. Here he goes. And that is...
A KO.
Well, 3 KO rolls to make. 4 KO rolls to make. How did it go for Lumi in the last one, I wonder?
Not well.
The Death Roller did exactly what it was bought to do.
Oh yeah, it caused, what, like 5 removals? 4 removals? Most of the removals that the dwarves got were the Death Roller.
Oh, that is needing a reroll. He doesn't have a Claw Mighty Blow piece to blitz with at this point.
Nope, just the Wrestle Tackle or the Block Sure Hands left.
Finds a POW there. Could throw a Vanity Pass for the entertainment value. Yeah,
Throw it at the Death Roller.
Yeah, just try and hit him on the head or something. I don't know. Ah, why would you do that? I wonder.
Did not make much sense. Okay, well, here comes the most important rolls of the game.
That felt like a surefire way to lose another Beastman.
Yeah, pathing.
What was he pathing to?
I don't know what you've put in the
damn.
Refreshments Herringzord, but
their mistake was getting me to stream the game. There goes the Death Roller, but he has done his work. So that is a 6-player Chaos team against a 10-player Dwarf team. And there's no Claw.
And there's 2 guard blocks.
Yeah, there's 2 strength 4 block guard out. That doesn't make good reading. Here's a
Very
test of you.
successful dwarf ride.
Yeah, here's a test of your number 1 NAF coaching ranking. But yeah, I'd agree that was a misclick because that was pretty bloody stupid otherwise. And I know that KFoged is not that stupid. So I'm interested to know what he was pathing to. Why not just pass it from where he was? Like there wasn't another dwarf turn. Changing with an ice, we'll throw that ball there. There's fine. So this is overtime format, and they're both playing with 2 rerolls. Oh, and one of them only has 6 players.
Yeah, I don't mind the low reroll counts. I mean, it does let you fit a lot more skills onto your builds.
Yeah,
and
agreed.
In this case, let you afford a Death Roller and a Minotaur. But
though a lot of those skills aren't doing much for KFoged right now.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of sunbathing on the side of the field, and Sure Hands has failed for the 3rd time today. Yep, losers out at this point. It's the losers bracket. So they've both lost 1 game up to this point.
Yeah, loser out, winner onto the next round of the losers bracket, which will guarantee a top 4 finish for
that's the
winner of this match.
That's the actual. I mean, how does it work at that point? You've got, because Crucifer will get a second chance, right? If he or random guy, whichever one loses that game.
The finals don't get a reset.
Correct.
So for
the
making
winner
it all the way to the finals, they get choice of kickoff in the final, but they don't get an extra chance at the end. So
Correct.
random guy, and Crucifer have, like, the loser of that game still gets to play.
Yes, that's what I'm working out, because they're in the semi-final, so the winner gets into the final. That's fine. So the 2 winners of this will face off in losers round 5, and
that'll
then
determine who finishes 4th.
Yeah. The winner of that will go on to face the loser of random guy against Crucifer.
Mm-hmm.
Easy.
And then the winner of that will go on to face the winner of random guy and Crucifer in the final.
So, remembering, of course, that KFoged has to carry the ball, meaning that he's actually only got half of the dwarf's numbers. But hey, he's got the ball, so that's something.
The worst part about being down numbers is you really just can never afford to protect the ball, because if you're protecting the ball, your players aren't hitting things or doing any actual work.
Well, that was almost a start. 6 goal saves today. But, like, what now?
And let's note that the Troll Slayer was actually broken there because he's a Troll Slayer. A normal dwarf would not have taken a...
We couldn't afford to reroll that. Could we? Maybe.
I mean, it's overtime format, so can he? The problem with not rerolling it is that the ball just gets 2 dice blitzed here.
Yeah, here's my problem with the it's overtime format thing. You've got to get to overtime for that to matter.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't be stingy with your rerolls when you're not going to make it.
I've seen loads of things in playoff matches, in, I suppose, Clan League matches, all sorts of things. There's the drama break. But you see so much of this, I mustn't spend my rerolls because it's overtime format, that you forget that you've got to get to overtime format. But I suppose the question was, where was the Chaos Warrior going? Was it that important that he made it? Well, right now it seems like it might have been.
Yeah, it might have been, because this ball's getting blitzed, and I don't think... if he had been able to dodge out all of those guys, he probably would have been able to protect the ball. But,
down it goes. And he's doing that in such a way that if it scatters well, then the dwarf will be able to pick it up. However, you'd want to make a second GFI, wouldn't you?
Oh, definitely. You'd have to make the second GFI.
Or you just cover it for now because you realise that the chaos aren't really going anywhere.
I don't think it's necessary to pick it up. And I guess the one way that the chaos had actually a chance here was if the sure hands failed again, the ball scattered out and then down back into the dwarves half. Maybe the beastmen could have just like ran down there and done something, because they would have had a head start.
Here we go. And there we don't go. And here we go again. And there we don't. That largely sucked. Yeah, that was pretty bad as well in terms of the outcome. I think the dwarfs might win.
Yeah, I mean, the KO rolls were just so bad.
The dwarfs did what they had to do, which was largely not actually worry about scoring in the first half, as much as just with the chaos having no bench and the Apo going on the KO, which I guess in hindsight becomes the talking point of the first half. Was that the right piece at the right time to Apo?
I mean, it's funny because, like, I think the Apo did cause the dwarves not to score. They spent so much time committing to that minnow foul over and over that they weren't able to push the ball through.
Yeah,
so maybe if he doesn't Apo that, it's 1-0.
Once that Apo had gone, and then he'd sort of picked up that Kaz on the Beastman and said, right, okay, well now I'm definitely playing against 10. And then a couple of KOs come in. You start thinking, well actually, if I just cause damage here, this is a Chaos team. They're not going to be able to do all that much to me in the second half, as is currently being displayed right in front of your eyes. Because now all but one of the Chaos and poor old Farmalgor has his work cut out here.
Yeah, Farmalgor is the only saving grace here, but the ball was not scattered out of bounds, and therefore he's probably not relevant anymore.
No. Wolfbark, this and the other game that's going on at the moment on BZL's channel are the last 2 games in this session, so we can knock that dwarf over and I suppose go and base the ball. Probably not. I'm going to get the wrestle tackle in range. Maybe all you can do is try to force a quick score from the dwarfs and hope you get all the KOs back and sort of play it from there.
Yeah, I think if I was the dwarf team, I would do my best to not have to quick score here.
That might force it. That might be good enough.
It might.
Or The alternative is it might be enough where if you just run those dwarfs up and base everything again, then you might look at this and say, oh, well, Gishnagor's not looking at anything anymore because he's dead. I wonder if the dwarfs might come backwards.
Backwards would be a good idea. Just retreat back to where all the guard is.
Oh, as I was saying, the alternative is you just base all this and say, right, well, you may get to hit the ball, but also, even if you do, it's going to be right up here, but we are going backwards.
Yeah, that's smart. Because he really doesn't want to score. You don't want to give those KOs another chance to come back onto the field.
No, let's face it, the game is absolutely locked down in its current form. So why would I give up that advantage? We put guard on this corner now.
Has a nice 2-dice blitz up with the final corner.
Yeah.
Obviously making his non-dice related moves first.
So that death means it's now 5 versus
against
10.
10.
Which it's not great, is it? It could be better. Chance
It
of
means
blitz.
you can stick a dwarf on every single.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's about to be
still
4
have a 4.
versus 10. Well,
Oh, saves him with the dodge.
yeah. Are we clutching at straws? I feel a bit bad because I've basically just cast 2 absolute whitewashers here.
Certainly has felt that way.
Because Lumi just had no chance in his game, and KFoged has just really had no chance in this second half.
Well, I think it's due to your,
Must,
spiking of the halftime
it
drinks.
must be my fault, you're right. This could only be my fault.
I mean, we've seen how many KO rolls fail this game, these 2 games. We had 7 out of 8, and then
Yeah. Wow, it was, wasn't it? It was 7 out of 8.
3 out of 4. So that's 10 out of 12 failures.
Yeah, I don't know. They're 50-50 or something, aren't they?
Supposedly.
So they claim. I don't know, whoever they are. Goes to the Dauntless Mighty Blow hit. Against...
Leads into another 2-die.
What's that Chaos Warrior called? Tricia... Aigaiuaga. Which about describes how this second half has gone. For the Chaos. We're going to threaten, but in the same way that, like, a 4-year-old threatens to leave home when they're in a bad mood.
Well, the wrestle tackle guy just threatened and did leave.
Yeah. And then there were 4. I'm impressed that 50 of you are still watching this.
I believe we've also gained some viewers from the other game, which
Yeah.
is finished.
Has it really? That must have gone even quicker than this.
Yeah,
Man.
so Dio has taken his way into Losers Round 5, and will be facing the winner of this game.
I wonder who that's going to be.
So that'll be a Necro team up against these dwarves.
Well, regen could make the difference, because the Chaos will be wishing they had regen right now. Because that's a bit of a car crash. And that is not the way we advertised this going, is it? We promised dead dwarfs, and we've had everything but.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it turns out that dwarves are hard to kill when you're not blocking them.
Yeah. Weird, that.
It's funny, like, the Minotaur and the Claw of Mighty Blow actually did some things at the beginning, but,
He got
quickly
one
we're-
dwarf, didn't he?
yeah, he did.
but then got into a position where he got the first block he took back from the Troll Slayer, knocked him out. That was Apo that was stunned, and then it just became, right, I'm going to place my Death Roller on this and foul it until it's not a thing anymore.
And the block guard Chaos Warriors, while they were able to make all the hits they wanted while standing in that strong line, they don't have cloth, so against dwarves who have really high armor and thick skull, it wasn't as big a problem.
I'll give KFoged this. He obviously needs 100 quid for something. Because I'd have given this up a long time ago.
He's trying his hardest. Unfortunately, with 4 players, it's really hard to do anything.
I mean, 4 elves and you might have half a chance, but what? 4 chaos players? Not so much. Ooh, that one survived. Farmelgore, the hero.
So the only way he can prevent this touchdown is with a really crazy dive next turn, or a Sage level not scoring.
Yes. Let me talk to you about the number 6. We're going to need 1 or 7 of them.
1 or 7.
Yeah, good play. There goes Agarugi.
And then there were 3.
Which again accurately describes this second half from KFoged's perspective, and he's got a chance to knock down this one. Promptly does. And I mean, he's got a, yeah, I was going to say you move the dwarf over here because at that point he only needed 1 6 to get in there. Now he needs many 6s. To the point where, yeah, do that.
I agree with that play.
Yeah, just do that. Now you can't. Well, you can do it. This guy could roll 4 plus 4 plus 3 plus.
Yeah.
He didn't. Farmelgore. Come on, Farmelgore. Ah, he made the first one and then he didn't make the next one.
And with no players left to hit, he's going to walk it in.
Well, that happened. Hey, if you like dead chaos players
in the final 4.
Yeah,
final 4.
So there you go. That's any comments on the 1 minute turns? Well, I'm fairly experienced at running the old 1 minute turn competitions myself. Now, what they're not good for is high level play. Because even the best players will make mistakes under that sort of time pressure. What they are good for is an audience, entertainment-wise. So this is the trade-off you make. Are you interested in entertaining the viewers? Are you interested in giving the coaches the best possible chance to make the right plays and play the best game they can? Now, that's not a discussion I'm getting into because everyone's going to yell at me. But
one thing they're also very good at is fitting 8 games into 2 days.
Yes, when you're playing across 2 days, they are necessary, to put it bluntly. But that one has finished 1-0 to kolianxxxxx. He goes on to the final 4, and we are down to the final 4 now. And he will face Dio and his Necro in the losers bracket. Round 5. It's not really a semi-final. So, as I understand it, I believe that game will happen at the same time as Random Guy versus Crucifer.
Yeah, and I think that's 1800 UTC, so a bit of a break here.
Yeah, now these guys are all in the money at this point, right?
Yep, final 4. So they're all getting something.
So 5th to 16th gets $0. 4th place gets $15. Oh, well. The trolls are singing. Kanuki, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime. It depends how you define competitive. I could give 2 toddlers a stick in a field and make them fight, and that would be competitive. you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so that I think the two matches will be at the same time. So it'll be Random Guy against Crucifer, Lizards versus Nurgle. It'll then be Dio against kolianxxxxx at the same time. Now, I don't know. I'm not doing the game, so I don't know who is. It might be BZL and Squirrel Dude doing one. And then I don't know who's doing the other one. But I'm sure gdaynick will let you guys know if you keep an eye on the channel. Or you might be able to tell us here. And then the winner of the losers match between Dio and kolianxxxx will go on to face the loser of Random Guy against Crucifer. And that'll be played separately. And then the final will happen after that. So you'll be watching sort of 3 games back to back. You'll have a choice for the first one. Then you'll have your losers final, if you like. And then you'll have the winners final to determine who gets the $80. So one of Dio or kolianxxxx is getting $15. The winner will guarantee themselves at least $30. The losing finalist will get $50. And the winner will help himself to $80, which is a decent night out, or whatever you prefer to spend $80 on. Right, so I will wrap that up for here. So, yeah, appreciate you guys stopping by. I had quite a bit of fun doing that. That was all right.
Yeah, I mean, I wish the games were a bit more competitive, but,
Oh, I mean, yeah,
KO rolls.
Both of our games were complete car crashes, but it happens sometimes. Them's the breaks in Blood Bowl. So you guys need to pop back onto the other channels in 3 hours time at 1800.
Yeah, just about 3 hours.
So there's a little bit of a break now. So from my point of view, thanks a lot to gdaynick for inviting me to cast some of those games. And thanks to you guys for stopping by. Kanuki, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime sub. T-Self, thanks for co-casting all of that.
Yeah, no problem. It was a lot of fun.
We did have some fun, despite the fact that we didn't really have any interesting decisions to talk about.
I mean, we got to see a piling on claw minotaur versus a death roller, so hey, there's always that.
I can take that for my Sunday afternoon. That makes this day all right, as far as I'm concerned. Right, I'm probably going to raid up. I think Yakastay's live, so we'll throw you over to him. He'd be doing some Blood Bowl-y stuff. All right, I'll see if I can tune in and watch the finals later on. It was a good little fun tournament that to get involved with. So, good luck to the remaining 4. My little rebel hat has got my little foam finger that says Random Guy on it. But we'll see how he does against Crucifer. But 4 good quality coaches, you can expect 3 very good quality 1-minute games there, I would say. So, all right, in that case, I will be back with the regular scheduled programming, probably some point through the week, back end of the week, maybe something like that. But until then, have yourselves a good Sunday. Thanks to T-Self again. T-Self's channel is twitch.tv/T-Self55, I believe.
Yep.
TSELF55. We're off to watch Yakastay for a bit. Cheerio.